What's up, kids? Welcome back. So good to be back after a rough week of bad internet weather and power cuts. So I'm so happy to be here. Fridays are always the best. Take a listen to what we're going to be continuing to work on today. This is a Cyberpunk theme piece of work. And I'm just kind of putting it together in a format that is easy for people to use. Ableton users can download this pack once I release it, and everything will be self-contained, including the VSTs and the samples. So I try to make it easy for like beginner producers. If that sounds good, sub the channel. Check out what's on offer on Patreon, where I'm putting a lot of new stuff is coming out there for free. So you can like download these entire project files and edit the projects on your own and kind of do what you like with them. I want people to have more access to Ableton and this kind of material, this kind of educational resource material. So that's the that's what I've been up to. So so much has happened in this last week. I'm pretty stoked to be back actually, but while that's playing, I just want to show you. First off, we've got I mentioned the Patreon free feed, so if you're interested in this, go to bit.ly /JB0. This is the link that should be in the description of the YouTube channel. It'll take you to the free stuff section of my Patreon page. These are the individual templates that you can download. Literally, you can just click on that zip over there and you'll get it. Same with these. Some of them come with master files and WAV files and stems, and so there's a bunch of resources you can use. And basically, I'm being quite liberal with. There's no like copyright or license attached to that. You can just use it. Then I have just started posting on Ko-Fi. If you don't know what that is, it's a type of Patreon, but people make one-off donations. So I've started putting the links to the stuff that you can download on here. So check that out. Here's my page. Oh, this cyberpunk stuff I'm loving it. I'm really kind of getting into this whole genre. Yeah, I just started posting on Ko-Fi now, so that was like 15 minutes ago, and you'll have access to 70s Euro disco. This is the first post basically. And big news, Moody Beats, which is the album 2 albums ago I did, finally up on Spotify, so you can check out the link. I'm going to paste that in the chat right now. And while I'm at it, let me just change that piece of music. Now on Spotify. Cool. And that's kind of where we're at publishing wise. I've just spent a bunch of time just getting things out basically. It's tricky, but I've been doing that. So yeah, here we are. Let's get back into the music stuff here. I wanted to show you this one knob over here, which controls a macro with a variety of different effects. They're like frequency cutoffs. So just take a listen, you'll hear it come up now. Yeah. I'm in my happy place when I have like one knob which controls everything. Okay, so you get the idea. This is a cyberpunk themed music pack which I'm going to be making. This is one of the tracks in the pack. Let's just stop that for a sec. We'll go to the outro, and we're going to end it with something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that. So this one's pretty much ready to go. I'm going to fork it right now and move on to track 2. Part of the process that I'm doing differently this time is I'm going to be compiling these instruments into their own devices, and also just kind of reusing a lot of the sounds that I'm coming up with. For example, I think on Thursday evening, I didn't do a stream, but I sat here and worked on this stuff because I want to get ahead of it. And you can hear this sound over here. It's kind of like got almost like a plucked acoustic guitar sound. If you take a look in the bottom left, you'll see the cutoff that I mentioned. That's going to be giving you a little more or less of the juice. So here it is really low, more subtle, and here it is higher. So it's finding these instruments that make the cyberpunk sound and then packaging them really easily so that other people can use them. They must be clearly labeled. So for example, this one here, Wire-Based Journey. What I'm going to do now is navigate to the My Stuff folder where I've got a folder for cyberpunk, and I'm going to label this a texture, because it's not really a bass, it's a texture. So let's call it texture. This is more for me than anyone downloading it, but it really does help with structuring your tracks. I am of the opinion that with well-produced music, you've kind of got to have a maximum of 5 things happening at any time. And I've labeled those 5 things bass, kit or rhythm, lead, pad, and texture. Those 5 things combined will, everything you write will fit into one of those packs over there. So texture, wire, bass, we're going to go straight into that right now, and that means that next time I'm in the next track that I write, which we're going to start now, I can effectively reuse these patches. These are the satisfying ones, the ones that kind of make sense. Okay, so let's get into it, kids. I am going to come back to the arrangement of this. Oh, one more thing before we move on was I do need another source of rhythm. The rhythm in this track is kind of thin. I just say that because if I mute out all of these, this is the effect, this is the sum total basically of the rhythm in this track. So plus a little bit of that, which is quite nice, but I do want to just, I want to beef this up a little bit more. I noticed that the reference track, which you can't hear because I'm going to get flagged on YouTube if I play it for you, but it's got, it sounds like timpani or string drums, or just not timpani, but just like a very fast-paced ethnic percussion sound. So I'm going to kind of look for that. I'm actually going to look for a djembe sound. So let's just search my samples for a djembe hit and see if we can find this type of thing. Yeah, okay. Okay, so I'm currently previewing these tracks. You probably can't hear it because Ableton doesn't allow that, but I will soon have something for you to hear. And what I'm going to do then is add it to this djembe. In fact, let's go simpler. I'm going to actually just add it as its own loop. So creating an audio track now, and let's get one of these guys over into the, yeah, I'm just going to get one of them into here and show you a little trick I learned a while ago for making these sounds pop. Okay, so here is the sound that I just referenced, that I just talked about. It's a djembe drum. Now, because it's going to master, you still can't hear it. Let me reroute it to the pre-master. The pre-master is where I have the restream device, which allows me to feed the audio from Ableton into OBS, which I'm using to stream to you. So that is an explanation. Whether you like it or not, whether you asked for it or not, there it is, kids. There it is. It's Friday in the world. It's Friday morning, it's Friday afternoon, it's Friday evening. Everything is happening right now. Everything is always happening right now. Okay, enough silliness. Now check this cool trick out. If you change the transient playback, whatever this is, a selector or algorithm, and then you take down the effect, whatever that is, let's just check out what is it called. Transient envelope, yeah. Transient loop mode and transient envelope. It's going to play just the first couple of milliseconds from each sample. Take a listen. Now that's the effect that I'm going for. Let's play it in the context of the track. That's cool. I want it even thinner though. I want it compressed. So I'm going to grab a compressor. Okay. I can actually mash this. Let's hear it on its own. Attack down, release down. So it's almost got the effect of a gate. Now that is cool, except I don't like how tonal it is, so maybe I'm going to actually just transpose it up. Is that working? No, I don't think it's working. No, not working at all. This is what I'm after. So now it's got a lo-fi feel to it. It sounds like it's been resampled. That might work. Cool, that's cool. And now the last thing I want to do is grab an auto filter and make sure that it kind of darts around the head a little bit. It mustn't be like just stuck right where it is right now. It's stereo signal. I'm going to take this, and give it a phase. The filter we don't need, but the phase. Spin. Okay, in the context. So this is the rhythm section of the Cyberpunk track. I like it, but it's also just a bit busy. So what I'm going to do is actually just replace this sample. I think there's a way to do that when you can hot swap out the sample itself. Can you do that? No, I don't think so. So this is kind of sounding a bit like Bonobo now, this kind of lo-fi oversampled sort of sound. Anyway, so that's just a general idea of how to get more rhythm into the track. Just another rhythm. I want to maybe just mess with the start point. I'm going to close my eyes and just listen. It's got a nice, it dovetails nicely with the rest of the rhythm track, so let's just leave it in for now. Okay. It's very subtle, but it kind of does the job. Cool. So that's effectively what we're going for now. We're going for like a, yeah, we're gonna pull that in. I think it just has its own audio sample. So let's call that drum djembe. Okay, let's just call it djembe. It's fine, we know what the story of that is. And then this one over here is called darbuka. Darbuka, do you love me a darbuka? Okay, and this is texture. So we've got 5 main channels that are happening here: bass, kit, pad, lead, and texture. I'm going to leave this as it is for now and just come back to it. I'm not going to spend too much time on this track, so let's get on with the actual bounce of the arrangement. And here we go. Take it from the top. And I'm going to bring that down, that filter down, make sure it's low, and we should be able to start now. Something's not right. What was that? What's playing? Harmony's playing. Harmony is playing because harmony is only okay, I know what's going on. The analog is not being filtered, so we actually need to add this to the MIDI mapping for the rest. So now I don't actually want that to be that obvious. Okay, just got a decision to make here. Okay, right. Take it down in volume maybe. Just take it down to 12. Okay, alright, just fixing the skies, and then I'm going to bounce out. I'm going to do the fun stuff and just bounce out a full arrangement of it. Okay, let's try it again from the top. Gotta just mute that. Let's see if it works just with mute. Okay, here we go, record. Okay, and we also got to start it somewhere. We'll get to the mixing later, but for now let's just start it there. Okay, we'll flip over. One, two, three, four. Cool, let's throw down that live beat there. That's cool. One. Now we come into the melody. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool, this is more like action, punchy, sort of That's the style we're going for here. We did another one of those. Let the machine just do its work, you know. Alright, cool, and we're bouncing that out, that's all good. And now we change track 3, 4. And then you see there's actually a bit of automation on this already. You can see it happening on its own here. I programmed that in order to get a nice sort of swell feeling going in this this main section. And now we're going to bring in the full scene, which is everything, basically everything combined. 4. That's a little bit more punchy. And I'm going to go into the arrangement later and add in some stuff to distinguish between sections better. We just go straight into the rhythmic dropout. 1, 2, 3, 4. Most of the tracks are only 2 minutes long. Some of them are 1 minute long. And I'm just gonna let this one ride out for another 16 bars. 2, 3, 4, and then we call it quits. 2, 3, 4, 1. And that's it. Okay, cool. So that's track 1. I don't know what we're going to call it yet, but I'm going to save it as track 1 for now. And off we go on to another project. I'm going to fork this one. So let's save it as and track 2. And what I'm doing, as I mentioned along the way, I'm going to be saving the devices themselves. So for example here, pad dark and fragile, it's one option for a pad sound. So yeah, let's do that. Cool. So now what I'm going to do is literally start this entire arrangement, can move over, and I'm going to start basically from scratch. I want to emulate existing sounds from the Cyberpunk 2077 game soundtrack. That's where this is all coming from. So I start by listening to the game soundtrack. Now on the soundtrack there are a lot of like ambient, sort of dark and moody tracks, which are very useful if you've got like a job to score to picture. But because I'm providing general soundtracks for like general use, I find it's a better approach to make punchy material, stuff that doesn't just feel too wafty. Because I don't think there are a lot of people, at least not for commercial usage, who are like hunting the internet, the internet's free music archives for like background ambience. I think there are more people looking for like commercial, attention grabbing music. So I'm focusing more on that for this type of material, because I think it just basically means I get more patrons that way, providing people what they're actually looking for, Okay. So let's keep going with this. Now what I've just heard now is a specific sound that I want to try and emulate. Why is this thing shuffling around? Yeah, so if you just joined the channel or you're just tuning in to say what's up, then I'm happy to have a little chat with you. Let me know what you're up to. What's your Ableton journey been so far? This does not feel good at all. There's a stopper or two missing by the looks of it. Why, I don't know, and why now, I don't know. It's worked fine up until now. Okay, let's keep going. Alright guys, so let's take off the LFO sound. This is much more clean. It's fun playing this stuff, right? So I like this haywire vibe. tried an octave lower. Filthy, not gonna work. Okay, let's add a second sound to that, which is going to be this bass over here. Let's actually clear out this stuff. I want to start from nothing, basically. No, I'm hesitant to start from complete scratch every time because I find myself needing parts, basically, instead of sequencing them all from scratch, but I'll take them from the arrangement view if I need them. Okay, here we go. Cool, now we're going to change this bass. Now, because I mentioned I'm saving patches as we go, I'm making, you know, custom patches for myself to use. This one here is called Bass Crayon, so I'm going to change it to Bass Creek Bank and see how that sounds with this combination. That's fine, except we do want, for Bass Creek Bank, I have distortion filtered bass, which is the same patch, and it's distortion bright bass. I think this might not be a good match, actually. Let's stay with Bass Crayon. Okay, now Jupiter, this one. Let's go back to where. Oops. What I'm going to do now is just grab the reference track, top left, and see how it sounds. Here we go. That's the one I sort of emulated last time. Now I'm going to flip ahead in time and find the next track that I'm trying to emulate. This one over here. Okay, so Cyberpunk is heavily influenced by metal and dubstep. It's got an aggressive sound, as well as the more gentle atmospheric stuff. But it's more about the choice of instruments than the melody and harmony. So I'm actually just listening through here to this is almost like a tension builder track. Sounds kind of easy. Let's try it. Let's try and figure it out. So here we go. Okay, we're changing the kick sound now. So let me show you what I've got here under this kit. I've got 8 macros over here, which are all individually controlled. So I can scale through, for example, the kicks and try and find one that suits what I'm looking for. Let's first also just get rid of all of that mapping and just map, for example, the kick. I want to just be able to scroll with a button. Here we go. And I have to be so I'm looking for a very specific sound now. Not finding it. Okay, not really there. I think it might actually fall under tom category, or yeah, let's try the toms that I was listening to last week. This is my private, not private, but my my stuff folder. Just looking for tom. No, trap tom. No. Okay, I'm gonna give this another listen. Okay, it's got a specific sound I'm looking for. I'm going to scroll through kicks and let's start with toms and see if I can find it. Not what I'm looking for. These are very tonal type of toms. Okay. All right. That might be it, something like that. that's actually kind of it. Let's get that into the drum area and see what it sounds like. I'll show you what it sounds like in a minute. This one here. Doon, 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 doon. So the approach that I'm taking is to start with an existing track, which is the reference track. It's a piece composed for the game Cyberpunk 2077, and I'm listening to it and working out, thinking and listening about like what sounds are in there, and then trying to find or create those sounds, and then putting together my own interpretation of that specific track. But I've got to keep coming back to that original track again and again, because the stuff where I've succeeded, like with my 90s album, it was all very heavily referenced. I listened to sitcoms, like the theme tunes from sitcoms, and I copied them very closely. And the pattern that I notice amongst successful artists is they copy, and they're very good at copying. So let's try that. That's it. Okay, here we go. That's it. Okay, so starting with that, now what I got is a piece, I've got a cyberpunk sounding intro. So I'm going to call this just kick. I don't have to use this full drum kit just because I've got it. So it's a tonal kick, and what I'm going to do now is just go 1, 2, 3, 4. Set the BPM to 91, get a click on, and where's my click? There it is. And then just record that 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's actually just listen to the original beat. Okay, I've got it. Okay, yeah, I've got it. It's one of those that it's a rolling rhythm, so let's try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I almost screwed it up there, but anyway. Now this should be quantized to exactly the right interval. There we go. And this is kind of the basis of the track now. And it sounds like very basic. That's it, yeah. That's all we want. Okay. Then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 1. There we go. There we go. Now we've got a basic rhythm. Cool. So I'm starting with the rhythm now. I find the rhythm is most of the work. The actual harmony, most of the work gets done by the instruments because they're so sophisticated nowadays. You know, like a patch like this, for example. Let me just play it for you here real quick. So like this. It's such a nice, sophisticated sound that it feels like you don't actually have to do a lot of melodic or harmonic work in order for it to kind of have the effect you're going for. And that's just with the, you know, with the filter turned down. When you really bring it up, it's like, keep the chords simple. Don't be too fancy. So the rhythm is where it counts. So let's go back to the reference track and continue basically copying. That's the name of the game. Just solo that out. Okay, now we've got a second kick going here. So this is where you're going to hear something like a hip hop beat almost. Let's just try and get it down. Yeah, okay, so there's an interplay between the tonal kick, which is actually more like a tom. That. Let's change it up. Let's change this one to a G. Let's go G minor for this one. Which means I've got to get this kick out. And here we go. Where's my kick? There it is. That's the sub. don't like those sounds. Okay, let's play it together. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll just come up with a few ideas now. Cool, then we've got an idea for a kick there. So sometimes it hits on the same as the tonal kick and sometimes it's off. Don't like the sound, kill it, screw off. Let's change that clap sound. I like the clap sound, but I used it in the previous one, so I just don't want to overdo it. This should have its own... This is nice, but where am I supposed to change the... I'm supposed to change it in the master. Okay, here's the clap. Here we go. Just... It's got a lot of reverb on it. I mean, clicks and snaps are great. They're very kind of modern, very contemporary sound. Generally, you just scroll through some patches until one really sticks out at you. Just want to hear this again, solo this out. Okay, let's do one of those. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 4. 4, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. No, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay, let's try that. Take off that solo. Here we go. Cool. I'm not hearing the same vibe there. It's a smaller clap. It doesn't actually have that long echo. So let's get over to the clap and just kind of tone down the reverb a bit. And it happens to be this hybrid reverb here. Cool. And we're gonna just bring it down in a bit. That's the reference track. Let's turn it off. There's almost no reverb on the reference track. Just like a... Okay, the clap's not right. I'm going to try a little harder to emulate the exact sound. Let's just get it right here. Sounds about right. Okay, that's good. I'm just also going to turn down the reverb even more. The dry weight isn't fine, but it's this amount here that needs to come down. That's just the subtle. Okay. Good. Now, because we're only running one clap, I also want to just mess with the snares a little bit. RP, what's happening, dude? Thanks for showing up. What's cooking? Welcome to the stream. I'm busy putting together some Cyberpunk music, as you know. I'm working on Cyberpunk stuff for the next few weeks. How's things going? How's your second episode of Le Sitcom coming along? Okay. Let's play back, and here we go. Here we go. No, not really what I'm after. Forgot to zero out all of these. So all of you guys need to shut up. This is the beat, yeah. Okay. Alright, cool. Episode 3 being worked on. That's great to hear, bro, man. You're already steamrolling ahead, I see. Yeah, that's how you do it. Just keep on pushing it out, you know, keep on doing the thing. Cool. Ooh, okay, what I'm looking for next. So what I'm struggling to find is it's a specific sound that I'm after. Okay, it's quite a specific sound that I'm after, and I'm going to try and figure it out now. Let me just move that a bit to the side, Simo. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Let's get this guy out the way. Okay, cool. RP says, also sorry for asking about it so much. Hey man, no worries. But the thing is, there are multiple for a song. Are there multiple for a song like there are? Are there more than one for Living Kicks, or does it just come one for each song? I believe it's one for each song. Let me just double check. Yeah, that's right. So it's just one for each song. Let me show you what the actual contents of the pack are. It's this stuff over here. So I think you'll be able to hear this. Just give this a real quick listen. I'm gonna just have to do some thinking quick on how to read. You probably can't hear that, but I can turn it on for you now. Here we go. Cool. All right, desktop audio on. Take a listen to this. This, for example, is the down to earth sting. So this is it in its entirety. I'm going to just turn the volume up again. Start again. That's what I mean by a stinger, and that's the one for the track called Down to Earth. And as you'll notice, there's one for each one. There's one for each track in that pack. So the reason that works well is because it is actually, I've exported those files to be short. They're not just sections of an existing track that kind of work. They actually had to reformat them. So that took a bit of time to do that. If you want, yeah, grab the pack and you can get the there's the Living Kicks thing, the Lovely Hills one, etc. You can grab them straight from that pack. Yeah, that's kind of what's on offer there. And they work, you know, that sound of a sitcom when you like have an opening shot. That's when the stinger plays. It just kind of sets up the scene. So yeah, that's kind of what you get. Yeah, I'm glad it's going along, man. I'm glad that you're continuing to work on it. All right, let's play this again. It's a reference track. Okay, I'm going to try something I didn't try before, which is to take this darbuka sound and just loop it. Let's just hear how it sounds. Here we go. Now I like that, except for one thing. That's how the rhythm. Let's try it again. Okay, again, I'm doing some close referencing now, so this is exactly how the track sounds, the original track. Okay, here we go. Here we go. That's it. Okay, so we need a 4 or a loop here. That's it, yeah. Delete automation. again. There we go. Take off this auto pan. That's it. Now we're going to change this to a lower loop, low version. No, not going to work. So what I'm trying to do now is create a distorted version. So I'm going to add some erosion onto this to give it... Let's just actually see what are the audio effects that allow for distortion or drive and color. That's kind of it. Amp cabinet, drum bus, dynamic tube, erosion, overdrive, pedal, redux, saturator, and vinyl distortion. The one I'm most interested in right now, I know redux does that. Let's go for dynamic tube, see what that sounds like. Ableton's built-in distortion and drive effects are kind of not so great. Nothing really happening there. Let's try a preset of that, dynamic tube. So a broken tube is going to be too hectic. Hot driven tape, I mean everyone wants to hear that. Doesn't really do much, I mean nothing that noticeable. I'm going to listen to some of the erosion effects, snores. That's closer, yeah, but now we've still got the original signal's too loud. I want this to be basically just completely crunched. Let's go with overdrive, see how that sounds. That's it, but that's what I was worried about, was that very digital sounding. It mustn't really sound like a djembe at all. Okay. Cool, man. Well, pedal, bass guitar in front of stage. What do you got planned for the weekend? Anything happening? That's closer. This is where we want to get to. Okay, now it's still treating it as a effect for sort of in parallel. I don't hear the original signal disappearing much. Let's output this like, still sounds like a darbuka to me. Okay, that's a problem because I can't get the sound I'm looking for here. I'm just looking for a bit of like, I suppose Redux is the one that I have to go for. Redux does a very brutal sort of type of bit reduction. That's quite nice. Let's try that. That's what I'm not wanting, and this is what I am wanting. That's quite cool, actually. It's got a glitchy tonal sound. Cool, now I actually just want it to be shorter. How does that compare to the original? It's kind of getting there, but it's not quite there yet. Okay, we've got another 5 or 10 minutes of this stream, and I'm making progress on a patch which can serve as a type of just a punchy, bit reduced or distorted sounding auxiliary rhythm patch. So it sounds like this at the moment. It's not really where I want it to be though. That's quite obvious, it's quite simple. And then I also want this thing to be, like with everything else, I want it to be quite wide. So let's hit up, spread's not going to do the job. It's going to have to be an auto pan or surrounder. Surrounder is one of my effects, which I use to kind of place the sound on either side of the ear quite quickly. It creates a micro delay. Interesting, it's actually affecting the signal. It's bringing up the highs. Okay, good. Filter off. That's good. And now we just want this to be a little bit... That's it, good. Now it has to be after the mono signal. The monoizer. That's it. Now I've got sound on both sides. If you're wearing headphones, you'll hear the difference. It's suddenly coming out sort of both sides. Very interesting. This is a new direction for me. I don't often like go this specifically into one sound. I kind of just fly around and do what I feel like. But now what this is like almost a technical project. Play it back again. Okay, it can be even more choppy. It doesn't have to be... be more... Good. The point is, it's digital. It sounds like futuristic cyberpunk sounds. We've got some interesting effects coming from the that there feedback. Good, so let's just use that. And then what I want to do next is just create some more varied rhythms in this little selection here. So that's not just one thing again and again. So we're going to just offset things a little bit. We'll take the first 3 of these and offset them there. And then take these ones here and offset them back there. This must be a little bit... I don't actually want these in halves. I want them in, yeah, I don't want these to be falling on the gaps. So there we go. It has to be back there. So it sounds a little bit random, that's the point. Good. Okay, so we've got this sound happening now in the sides of the ears. I'm calling this one track 2. It's just the second one in the Cyberpunk bundle that I'm putting together. Now that I've got something that I've, something that sounds like I want it to, I'm going to just group that up. And I'm going to save it. And I can always come back to it and edit it. But the point is, for now, I've got something along the lines of a texture, a rhythmic texture instrument. Rhythm side bites. Rhythm distorted side bites. Distorted rhythmic bites. No, that's fine, yeah, distorted rhythm bites. Cool, so distorted rhythm bites is now going straight into my stuff folder under Cyberpunk. This is going to be used throughout the project and in the texture category. So I've got different categories of sounds, 5 of them in total: bass, kit, lead, pad, and texture. And that's the modus operandi. That's how I'm going to be making this set. I had some real fun like doing this the other night actually. I don't often work at night. I wish I could, but now I've got this kind of sound rolling here. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. The whole thing can be a little bit higher in terms of pitch, so let's get the pitch up. What if I just turn the global pitch up here? Pitch oscillator. Interesting. Okay, cool. Okay, so we're getting that. I'm doing really fine stuff now. Like, don't make no mistake. This is not, like just general easy listening. Like, this is getting into the weeds, and that's what it takes. I think you got to really fine tune things. Cool, so I'm going to just overwrite that patch. There we go, yes. Now, moving on to loop, which has just got rhythm at the moment. And nothing much else. Okay, one thing I didn't do is take this patch here. Sorry. Okay, let's just bring that down in time and space and volume. And I want this to actually just dip out a little bit in terms of pitch. So the envelope, which looks like that, envelope 3. Let's try and route the envelope 3 to the pitch. So you do that by taking the, how do we do? What I want is a drop in the, that's it. Envelope 3. That's it, yeah. Cool, that was fairly quickly figured out. Sometimes that stuff takes me forever. Okay, let's get it up here. There you go. Different to how it was before. Great. Now the other thing we haven't done is overdriven this sound, because it's got quite a clean sound, but luckily we've got all of these different algorithms we can use to change the overall sound, which is what I'm doing now. So wavetable is really powerful like this. Wavetable, this Ableton instrument, gives you lots of options. Cool. Going up in volume, I don't really... I don't like that one. Nah, these are all way too high actually. That one's good, except it's also just a bit high. So let's actually just see what happens if we change the pitch down. Okay. That needs to be back up there. I can't do it there. It's not actually there. Okay, let's check it back. Another thing I can do is take the drive up like that. Yeah, that's what it is. It's kind of the drive. So this is starting to sound like a proper futuristic kind of, maybe a club track or some kind of instrumental track, but yeah, it's getting there. That's the important thing, making progress. Okay kids, I'm gonna wrap it up for today. That is it. It's been a great stream. I've made some progress. If you're new to the channel or you're just keen on sharing the journey with me, I want to just point your attention in the direction of a couple of things that you might have missed earlier. Moody Beats, this album is now on Spotify. It just came through yesterday, so go check that out. The link is in the chat description. I've also launched on Ko-Fi, so I've got a Patreon page, which you might know about. Ko-Fi is a similar thing, just a different kind of audience, and I've got a $500 goal to upgrade my studio PC rig. I'm hoping to do that before it dies, so if you're got the means to contribute to that, I'd appreciate it. And then yeah, just some progress on how this is all going. This is my kind of admin task list. Boring nerd. And I'm slowly putting these pieces of music all over the place. YouTube, of course, all of my videos go onto YouTube, but also onto Patreon and Ko-Fi. And yeah, so I'm currently just exporting all of the stuff from Moody Beats, and I will be doing the same for 80s Game Montage, which is the 80s album that I've just kind of finished. So yeah, if you're into supporting my work, there's lots of stuff coming your way. I've got stuff scheduled up until the end of April already. There'll be a new track template available every 10 days or so until the end of August at least. I'm going to keep it going after that. So yeah, that's it from me. Thanks so much for joining in. On Monday, I'll be back 2 p.m. UTC. Check out the daily live streams if you want to come hang out and chat a bit, see what we're up to. I'd like to hear what you're up to. and yeah, just make maybe make your day a little bit brighter with some music, and that's kind of the job here. Cool dudes, well thanks a lot, and I'll see you all again next time. Peace out.